Hi, and thank you for joining the channel. I have a story to tell. However, the news, the breaking news, let me be the first one to bring them up. Few minutes ago, like literally few minutes ago, Russian news, not even the news, it's just the Telegram channels and all that, saying that this guy right here, let me show you, his name is Ilya Kiva. He was he found not living anymore. So this guy is huge, right? Again, in my on my channel, I will be telling you about the figures, who is who in this whole Ukraine, Russia, and everything. So this guy, he was a Ukrainian congressman, right? He actually, well, how he got to Ukrainian Congress, it's called Duma, but we call it Congress, so you can understand. He was a fighter in the anti-terrorist operation, meaning 2014 when the war with Russia started in 2014. He was there for a little bit. He was saying strong words against Russians, saying like any Russian on the Ukrainian soil, it's, you know, only good Russian on the Ukrainian soil is a dead Russian. However, see, like right here, 2019, he already were carrying all this May 9th stuff, so everything that Russian propaganda uses for establishing the regime in Russia. He changed it because when he went to Congress, he went to Congress from the party that was...
Oh my gosh, this is so comfortable.
What is going on here? I am absolutely sorry. This was not supposed to happen. So he went to a Congress from the party of Medvedchuk, and who is who in the Ukraine-Russia war. Medvedchuk is the Putin is a godfather of his children, of one of his children. So in Russia, Ukraine, the godparent considered to be a part of the family. So Medvedchuk and Putin, they were like kind of a family, and now after the 24th February 2022, the SBU, the security services of Ukraine, found out that he was actually one of those figures in Ukraine that Putin was paying a lot of money to prep Ukraine for Russian invasion, meaning make it so that Ukrainians don't resist, Ukrainians don't do anything. He had anti-Ukrainian news channels, and those news channels were shut down after the invasion. And, you know, Tucker Carlson and Vivek Ramaswamy, you know, those guys, they actually kind of addressed that, saying like, hey, look what they're doing. That was the Medvedchuk channels were the weapon against the Ukraine used by Russia. So I agree with shutting down those channels. But anyway, so this guy, he was a deputy. They call them deputies, but a congressman from that party. He started like this strong anti-Ukrainian rhetoric after the full invasion last year. He thought that Russia will do what they wanted to do, so take over all the Ukraine, take out all the pro-Ukrainian leaders there, and put those pro-Russian. And he thought he's gonna be maybe even a governor of one of the Ukrainian states. So he started supporting it really, really strongly when the whole invasion kind of fell through. And we all know that, right? Ukrainian actually started resisting. Ukrainian people started resisting, and it didn't work out the way Putin was thinking, and this guy was thinking as well. So he went to Russia. There was a big video, because on the video he had some, here's him in Congress. On the video, he was saying that only good Russian on Ukrainian soil is a dead Russian. Here's the Medvedchuk. So this is the guy that is the leader of that pro-Russian. It's not pro-Russian. It was a Russian wing, Russian party, pretty much in Ukraine. But anyway, so on the video he was asking Putin for giving him a citizenship, blah blah blah. They actually gave him this is in Ukrainian Congress. They actually gave him like a spot on the news, on one of the news channel in Russia, where he had like a map and he would be saying how Ukraine is losing completely. He would just say this outrageous, like this crazy ideas that only true supporters of Putin, the true constituency of Putin would really listen to that and take it as some kind of a so the news already started that he is dead. It's not a bad news, I would say. But anyway, so why did Ukraine started resisting, right? And let me show you. We will talk on this channel, but because when I was in the U.S. Army for 20 years, you all kind of know about it, I hope. People came up to me and asked me these questions, like, "Hey, Sarnvi, what was going on? Why Ukraine fighting so fiercely against Russia? Aren't you like kind of the same, so aren't you like part of Russia, all this, you all understand what I'm saying, and I try to explain them that anything that's going on in Russia is, besides all the historic stuff and the man-made famine, the pretty much like a genocide of Ukrainians by Stalinists and blah blah blah, which Russia fights really really hard, this piece of history. Let me show you a video, and I will be showing you this type of videos, so you can understand. It will look and sound ridiculous, but I will try to explain. This is not some kind of a theatrical stuff. This is for real. So what they're doing is they recreating what was during the Soviet days, the socialist structure in Soviet Union was divided in different levels, right? So as a young, like pre-middle school kid, you would be wearing a little star with a little Lenin face in it, like young Lenin, like Lenin as a kid face. So you were considered to be an October boy because the revolution was in October. And then in the 5th grade, you graduate to middle school, you become the pioneer, what they call. The pioneer is you had to wear this scarf, you had to wear this, the cunt cap, that's what we call it in the army, but red color, of course. And then when you go to high school and beyond, college or wherever, university, you graduate to Komsomol. Komsomol is when you're already kind of like young communist party member. So to get to Komsomol, meaning you're already on the way, and then you become a communist party member. So this is in Russia as of late, few years of Putin regime. They started doing this a lot. In Crimea, they started making this, okay, we're gonna make this class right here to become a pioneers. So I'm surprised they don't have a Soviet flag here. They have a Russian flag, but so what the pioneers did is basically like walk around, march around, sing a song. They were like, their slogan was always ready. That's their salute, right? And as they saying always ready. So always ready to do anything that Communist Party would tell us to do. the biggest draw for being them is that they call them pioneer camps. So the camps, like like boy scout camps and summer camps, but it was free during the communism, so they would send them to those camps, and then just a summer camp for kids, but more militarized, more structured, disciplined and all that, just because they were like working for free on Saturdays, moving trees, cleaning the streets and stuff like that, and they were thinking that they is super proud. However,
наш девиз ни шагу назад, ни шагу на месте, а только вперед и только вместе.
She said, our slogan, and they saying, we will not take a step back, we will not take a step in place, only steps forward. This organization actually called Forward to USSR, the back to USSR, right? These guys don't want to go back to USSR, they want to go forward to USSR.
Старшая пеневожатая Тисленко Светлана Александровна. Принято. Дружина, торжественную линейку разрешаю открыть.
This is Russian guy, but he's super smart. I like him, and he escaped Russia, of course, and he's showing that. But see, like they saying, always ready. They like, be ready, always ready. So what is scary about this right here? That's what I was trying to address. Is that all these are like teachers, because it's happening in school. So most likely, no, many of these people are teachers. A Russian teacher today, like I always say, I say it with is the most dangerous thing ever, because they indoctrinate kids into this. They indoctrinate the kids into this anti-American, anti-Western society. These guys absolutely hate West. You can tell, even though she has a iWatch or whatever, but they are the 55 plus generation. They absolutely hate the United States. They absolutely support Putin, because Putin says that he's not fighting Ukraine right now, he's fighting the United States and NATO in Ukraine, and NATO, with United States of course at the helm of this, fighting Russia with the hands of Ukrainians. You can hear this sometimes on American media, because they just kind of, I don't know, knowingly or unknowingly kind of repeating the Russian propaganda, Russian news stories and blah blah blah. So these guys, they're the ones that teaching the important lessons. Since the invasion last year, Russian schools implemented this classes that's called important lessons, or lessons of important things, where they teach the patriotism. It's not a patriotism, it's basically like, we the greatest. It's like some kind of a North Korean chuche, all this stuff, and they were teaching how to love not Russia but Putin regime, and hate the West, hate Ukraine, hate everything. I'm actually, like I was always saying, that Russia is the only probably country that I know that has a derogatory nickname for every nation in the world. Like for you, my American friends, they call you Pindose. That's really, really like kind of sounding bad, and it doesn't mean anything but in American, but that's like just derogatory. So it's just because it starts with a P, and the P is like in Russian, it's almost gay-like sound. So I think we'll talk about it in the next video, right? Because channel only starting, so they only allow me 15 minutes, I think, of video to upload. But thank you all for coming here. And again, I was gonna do a little bigger video, and as I was setting all up, the news came out that Ilya Kiva was killed, which is big deal. And maybe I even do a separate video about who he was. That's one of those figures that not many of you, if any, actually, who's not from Ukraine or Russia, know who he is, but he is an integral part of this whole war, conflict, propaganda, and everything, ideology, everything that goes behind this whole thing. which is the goal of this channel, to explain you all these little intricacies and all these little parts, bits and pieces. I'll see you in the next one.